Hey guys, so I'm an interior remodeling contractor. I own a small construction company here in Huntsville, Alabama. And about once or twice or three times a week, something happens where I feel like everything in the universe is operating like it should, which isn't true. We all know that if we read the news. But in this moment, I can do so much work in so little time with such ease that it's crazy to me. So, say somebody, we'll call him Frank, gives me a phone call. He has a kitchen remodel he wants me to look at and price for him. Um, Here's what I do. And in this moment, I wish you could feel how I feel about what's going on, because this is quite literally, if I was having to do this for the first time fresh, it would take me, I'm not joking, it would take me months, literally. It took me decades to create this, but now it's distilled weeks and months worth of work into a few seconds. So Frank calls me, I trigger WFX, I copy my project workflow template. Maybe I misspelled it. There we go. And I paste it. So I'm on the phone with this customer. He's talking to me and I'm doing this. And I rename the node for the customer's, the first three letters of the customer's name. And then, like, I feel relaxed right now. My muscles are relaxing. I just trigger WFX, find and replace, and at Frank. You guys don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. Um, for example, I'll give you just, I'm not going to belabor it. I could explain. In fact, this is this is the second video. The first one took like 30 minutes. It was just too long. So I'm going to try and make this. We're at the 2 minute and 21 second time. I'm going to make this, 4 or 5 minute video. But to give you an idea, count all. There's 6,700 nodes in this. Inside of this, so it's about 7,000 nodes long. It's a template I created back in 2018. Work life was hard. I was frustrated with my company. I was disillusioned with construction, thinking about getting into something different, coffee roasting or whatever. I just wanted to get out of it. I was frustrated with a lot of things, and right at that time, what now is WFX and the Power Pack set of scripts was in beta, and Frank actually said, "Hey, you need to check this out. It's going to change your life." I'll be honest. I was like, I don't know how something could really change my life in this context necessarily, but he was right. This is one. What I just showed you is one ramification of how right he was. I've made more money to the tune of, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars, more money a year. I won't explain all that, but basically I'm just so much more efficient in my construction company, and I've sold more jobs because people can see how efficient I am and that I don't lose things, I don't miss details, because WorkFlowy and WFX together and the Power Pack have made doing my job so much easier. Holy mackerel. Back in 2018 was when I created the template. I had the idea of creating the template, but I knew what I was picturing doing was going to take months of work, like 40 hours a week for months. With the current iteration of WorkFlowy as it stood, and I would have to kind of manually type and manually copy and paste, and I knew it was going to take so much work. But then I saw what I could do with WFX and the Power Pack stuff that was still being created, and it was the tipping point for me. I realized, okay, it's going to take a lot of work to create this template for my construction company, But with WFX and the Power Pack scripts, it's going to make it doable with, for example, I do a lot of tagging, and there's a reason for every single tag on each node. So any place that has this particular one, it's a task. That's a story point counter for my Scrum planning. But you can see, I'll jump into workflow. Okay, these are all the phases of a job. They don't all apply to every job, but they're all the potential phases of any of the work that I do, at least. I'll jump into framing, and you can see there's a lot of nodes. I'll just scroll down. You can kind of see this is what you're looking at is the work of the project manager, not the work of the framer, but of me managing the framer. And I need to oversee the job. I need to make sure the job gets shut down. I need to inspect the work to make sure it's correct. I need to protect surfaces at that stage, any surfaces that need protecting, take photos. So it's all the stuff that I, as the project manager, do on the job. And then that's for every single trade. But you can see all the tags that I operate. I won't explain them all, but they all serve a particular function and are very useful to me. So, for example, and then there's lots of other examples, but for one example, the WFX multi-tagger, I wanted to be able to, select, in this case, I wanted to select all the framing, and I wanted to prepend it with the at frame. So I literally could just copy my generalized trade list, and then I think at the time I had trade was what I prepended with. I could copy or find and replace with frame, but I could easily add tags. And as I had a new idea or something else I needed to do that I needed to add a new tag or change the wording on something, I could do it in like under a minute. Whereas before it would have taken maybe half an hour or 45 minutes to manually go through these 7,000 nodes and find all the instances and hopefully not miss one. So the ability to create the template was created by WFX. To be honest, I wouldn't have been able to create the template. I wouldn't have had the time in the middle of all my other work. And as it was, it probably took me about 80 hours to do it, and that was with WFX. So you can see that without WFX, I wouldn't have had the time, but with WFX, I had the capacity to do something that was previously basically impossible for me. And then because I was able to do it, what I showed you at the beginning, where I came in and created this new job, Frank's kitchen job, it takes me 5 seconds to copy and paste this template that was made possible by WFX and WorkFlowy, and then change all the names, and now I'm ready, and now I'm locked and loaded for this new job, and I've got all of my tasks that I know. I can just go through, delete anything that doesn't apply, and then I've got this template for the job of all the tasks that I'm going to need to do, and then I can estimate my story points for the job. It's all like, I feel relaxed right now just thinking about how easy something that used to be very difficult, to the point I wanted to leave the industry, and now it's fairly effortless. So thanks, Jay. Thanks, Frank, for calling me on your kitchen remodel. I'll be by to take a look at it soon. I'll see you.